Isn't that crazy? There it is. My name is Dwyer, and this hot mess is an entrepreneur who helps a lot of people build successful home businesses, predominantly in network marketing. I've been doing this for 15 years, helping independent contractors build their own businesses. But for the past 7 years, I've been able to mentor and help groom people to really take charge, aligning themselves up with a network marketing company to become millionaires. And I have multiple millionaires who work with me as well as within my organization. And I've been really striving to help people really figure out how to narrow down systems that duplicate, because if you are just successful, who the heck cares? We got to make sure that what you do, they can do, and that other people can do as well. So I thrive on making sure that what you do is simple and duplicable, and that is my forte, and I want to be able to help you with that so that you can build a really big business and help others around you build the same big business. We have a lot of people that are going to be jumping on here live, and they're going to be able to ask some great questions, and I'm going to be able to help you guys with some of my best books, top 10 books that are a must read, and I'm going to do them in the order that I think that you should read them, reverse. So I am going to start at the 10th, and I'm going to bring it down to the first. So the first is actually the top #1 book you should read if you are in home business. So again, I'm going to make sure that you guys are on the same page. We are bringing some people in. We got about 30 seconds in, and we're going to get started right away. So if you can hold tight for 30 seconds, awesome seeing you coming in from Pennsylvania. And if you are jumping on Periscope for the first time, you're like, what is these hearts? Why is it making such a mess on my screen? Those actually let the broadcaster, hi, me, know that these are actually great topics, and you also appreciate it, you like it. Oh, that's pretty much like you tapping, and always suggest that you just multiple tap. So for instance, I was listening to some Periscopes today. I wasn't watching the screen. I was just listening and tapping like a beat of the drum, because I know that the broadcaster really benefits, of course, from getting hearts, because that helps them be seen as a value instructor, basically the way I look at it. And this is a way for you to show your appreciation. So tapping the screen. Hey, if you just missed it, make sure you share this broadcast now, because I'm going to pick one random winner through this broadcast who shares this. And you need to share it on Twitter, because that's where I'm going to be tracking it. So if you are an iOS user, meaning iPad, iPhone, swipe to the right, click share, share it to Twitter. And if you are an Android user, you swipe up, click share, and you could still share it. We are not yet at a room closed. We are almost there. So if you need to exit to be able to go and share it to Twitter, hurry up and go do that. I know I have a little conflict with my Twitter being connected directly inside. So that's where we're going to go. Thanks again for jumping on. Let's get going. And again, I am going to be tracking here. Ooh, I see a lot of you guys sharing it. Let me give some shout outs to those of you guys who are sharing it. We've got Katie, Fab Fit Katie just did it. Gail Vizzy, Retro Chick. Wow, you guys are flying. I can barely read. You are really doing awesome. Thanks so much. D Holt. And let's see, Alex Cardwell, Lisa Hatsky, Fit and Fab Mommy Club, Melissa Lafit, Cocktails and Fitness, Sicilion. I don't even know how to say that exactly. You guys are doing a great job with sharing it. So make sure that if you see the number count of attendees coming in really start to climb, if you can, while I'm talking, maybe put in comments to let people know, hey, share this and you could possibly win a book. And I'll tell you which book you're going to be reading. Christine Bennett shared it. Amy DeSanzo shared. Shannon Daniels. Glad to see you guys jumping on. So let's get going right into it. Appreciate you jumping on. My name is Christine Dwyer, and I help entrepreneurs. Predominantly, I mentor personally those who work alongside with me in network marketing in the organization that I'm in. But the content that I will teach applies to any business that you have. I've been in consulting business, working as an independent consultant for 15 years, helping groom entrepreneurs who are leading busy lifestyles, many of them moms having kids for the first time, and being able to figure out, how do I manage all this together and become a success? The past 7 years, I've been building in network marketing in a health and fitness company, and I've been able to help groom many successful people, the top achieving in our company, as well as the top money making in our company as well. So let's get started. I'm going to share with you a stack of books. I put a picture up for those of you who saw my promo. I am going to be sharing with you. You already saw the top one. These books right here. Top 10 books that I think you as an entrepreneur should read. These are my critical ones, and I'll tell you a little bit about them. I will be answering questions that you all have. So again, you can comment If you are ready for me to start at the 10th book, give me a thumbs up. So if you are ready, tell me by giving me a thumbs up that you are ready to get this party started. All right, so I guess I'll just keep chatting with y'all. Okay, so 3 people are ready. We are almost there, almost ready to get going. So as a reminder, we're good to go now. We got some people saying thumbs up. So I'm not starting with the first book that you should read. I am starting with the 10th one that you should read, okay? I want to save the first one to be last so that you stay. Here is my first 10th recommendation of the book that you read 10th. The 10th book I suggest you read is Jab, 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 Right Hook by Gary Vaynerchuk. This is a fantastic book. I will be honest and say it is a little challenging to read. And I know Gary's humor and personality, it's in here, and the content is amazing. But for me, it was a little harder for me to read because the entertainment value wasn't specifically there for me. And it was more, I had a lot of personal opinion as well in it. But the context of what the book teaches is exactly what you should be doing. And that's exactly what I'm doing here on Periscope. I am jabbing and jabbing and jabbing at you because I'm offering you value. I am giving away my training, my free secrets of success for free. And I'm not making a dime doing this. I am giving up of my time every day to do this because I see the value of being a leader in the industry to share as much value as possible to help create more successful people as well. So again, this is the 10th book that you should read. When are you going to write a book? Oh, Kelly, thanks so much for that. I really appreciate that. I don't know if you saw my goal list. Thanks so much. All of these should be audio books. That's a great question. I listen to a lot of audio. So I think that you basically can go download any of these on audio. I like to tangibly have things because I like to read on planes. So planes are an easy for me. I don't need to worry about battery life when I am reading. So, and also you'll see that I dog ear and I highlight and write through my books as well. I'm a tactile person. So I listen a lot, but mostly for books that are really important to me, I buy them. Okay. So when am I going to write my own book? I do have that on my list. I do. And I'll tell you one of the struggling points. And I've talked to people about it in terms of how do you get started with it. I am horrible at grammar. I have a lot of ideas and I just don't know where to start in terms of putting it out there so that it makes sense and an exact topic that is needed. So I've got a couple ideas of what I want to put out there. And I did have on my goal list that this year was going to be it, but it's not this year at all. So maybe it will go next year because I just have to make sure things are going in the way that I need them to go for my business. All right, you guys ready? The 9th book. So not the first one you're going to read. If you want to, I'm going to pull an Alex Pettit. Here we go. If you want me to tell you the 9th book I suggest you read, you better type fire. This is Alex Pettit. He always brings in something into, you can even put that emoticon, fire. Woo, you guys ready for that? This is what he does. All right, you guys are good. You're doing good. Awesome. Fire. Who says that? Is that Beavis and Butthead says fire? Yeah. All right. The 9th book I suggest that you read. So not the first one. This will be the 9th one that you read. Ooh, I'm getting hot here because they're making me too hot up in her. This is the one that I suggest that you read. This is by John C. Maxwell. Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. This is a great read. Honestly, you can't see, but I organized these all. I'm going the wrong way. These all right there are my John Maxwell. I like to organize my books by the author. I read a lot from the same author once I really see that this person matches me. And of course, John C. Maxwell is a legend when it comes down to entrepreneurs and business building, leadership building. So John C. Maxwell, you can't go wrong, okay? 5 levels of leadership. And I am going to be doing another scope teaching you the levels of books that I think you should read when you're in a leadership position as well, because that's different from this. This is every entrepreneur should start reading this. And I'll do another scope sharing you with what other ones I suggest. But again, John C. Maxwell, you can't go wrong with sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. And honestly, the whole premise of this book, again, is about the whole concept of you can't win every time. You have to lose. You have to learn from your mistakes. It's about trial and error. You just have to get out there and go and do it, because the only way to become better is through the successes of your efforts and continuous efforts. So I'm glad I see a lot of fluttering hearts. You guys must like John C. Maxwell. This is pretty good. All right. I am going to have you guys write. How about you write this word, push? How about you write that word, push, if you are ready for the third book, which is number 7. Number 7. You are learning so much from scoping. Yeah, that's it. Awesome. You guys are ready for push. Well, fine. That is my number 7 book. Now, I know some of you are going to be arguing and saying, this should be the first book, and why are you such a traitor, Christine? She's your friend. You should be promoting her first. No, I do. I think this is a very valuable book, and I think that anybody should read this book, no matter if they are an entrepreneur or not. I think this is a fantastic life book just in general. This book helps you organize your life, really focus on the priorities of what you should be really focusing on to achieve your goals. The biggest mistake is too many times people are saying they want a specific goal, but then they're saying they have a priority, but then their actions don't align. And I'll give you an example. Some of the examples are, so many times people say, I really want to have more time with my family. And then they start taking on a lot of obligations that don't pay the end result goal. So for instance, they take on a lot of extra independent contractor work. So in the industry that I'm in, there is plenty of opportunity to add on more to your plate. So you can start, so for instance, I'm in the health and fitness industry, so you can actually start being an instructor and start teaching more often. Well, that's more time, because it's not just the hours that you teach, it's the hours that you don't get paid preparing to go teach. Those are some things to consider. As well as I know a lot of people who want to be presenters for the company that I represent. And honestly, coming from that, I don't think that's very beneficial to grow your business. It actually crashes your business, and I've proven it over and over again by watching people's businesses fall or fail. So if you're saying what you're doing is so that you can have more time in your life, or to be able to do the joys of spending time with your partner or your spouse or with your kids, and then you're adding on a lot of obligations that take you away from the home or lock you more in a work setting, then that doesn't mix. This book will help you get it aligned. So again, this is the 7th book that I do recommend you do read, and these are just my suggestions. Of course, the order that you do them, I think they're all very valuable. But my number 1 book definitely just speaks and puts a lot of action towards business success fast. And that's the reason why I suggest that the first book that I'm going to be suggesting to you then. All right, I am not going to make you guys say anything, because I'm going to just jump right into it. What is it? We are on the 6th book. So the 6th book that I suggest you read, this one's a super, super, super fast read. Super, super fast read. And it's this one. Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. This one is super, super, super fast. So this one is 10, 9, 8, 7. This is the 7th book. And I will pick them all up at the end again to make sure that you guys are all on the same page. This one is such a fast read, but this is one of the best ones that you can read, especially as an entrepreneur. You are dabbling in so many different things that sometimes you put something on the back burner because it's going to take you a little longer to do, or you're scared to do it. And the Eat That Frog, it means that on your list, your to-do list of action items that you should be doing every day, you got to do the one that is the most daunting, the one you hate the most. Just get it done. Eat that frog. Do you have any questions? Oh, you did a book club with that. That's perfect. Yeah, I think it's a great, great book. Definitely. Thanks so much for saying that. Setting up systems. Amen. I didn't skip one yet. I'm only on the 7th book right now. So 7th book right now. Perfect. Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. Yeah. So the 10th book is Jab, 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 Right Hook by Gary Vaynerchuk. The 9th book is Sometimes You Win, Sometimes You Learn by John C. Maxwell. The 7th book is Push by Chalene Johnson. And the 6th book, 10, 9, 8, 7th book is Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. Okay, so those are my suggestions there for the books. So the big thing, so for instance, in the business that I'm at, of course, people need to share that there is a business opportunity in this business. And the action of sharing it to people or possibly even calling people on the phone, that is many people's frogs. They just don't want to call people. So actually, I run a 30-day business bootcamp training program, and I make them call people. Because here's the problem, and I'm just going to share this part with you all. The problem is society, we are so trapped behind our phones and our computers that we're losing social skills, and we type everything, that our communication and our style, our inflection, and just getting to know each other goes out the window. And then the other side, people can read things out of context, as well as it can come across really spammy. So I honestly think that if you can nail social skills first, one-on-one with someone, then you can crush online. But if you just focus solely online, you are becoming like that trapped dark room hermit where you lose your social skills. You need to have people interaction. So if you eat the frog and do the scariest task of getting comfortable and familiar sharing the business opportunity with people on the phone, by the time you're sharing online, the confidence comes through and it's amazingly a different story. So the boot camp, my 30-day business boot camp, has been a program that I've been running for about 3.5 years, about 3.5, 4 years now. And honestly, I'm so super proud of it. It's so successful. I've got it all managed on a daily drip evergreen system, and that I have firm rules. I am one of those people that I'm a very big firm rule follower. So for instance, with working out after C-sections, I did not work out until 8 weeks after. I am a rule follower. I did breastfeed for 12 months. I just like to follow the rules. So with that, I'm very big on rules. And now because I've proven that the system does work so effectively, I mean, I have testimony after testimony of money achieved, rank achieved with these people, that I can be hard with my rules. And so my rules with people who do my business boot camp, because they're getting to work with me personally for 30 days every day, that's a lot of my time. That if they don't complete in the exercise, if they get 3 strikes, they're kicked out. And so I hold that completely, and everybody has to follow through. And so calling people is one strong task. So the 30-day business bootcamp is only for my organization that I work with in Team Beachbody as a platinum presenter. That's my team, of course. So I only allow it for my organization for personal mentorship. But the great news is it is moments, maybe months away from being a public product that anybody can do for any business. So it's not specific to my business. It's specific to any home business that you can do, and you can actually crush it. So let's go on to the 6th book. You ready for it? I got nothing. Say note, note, note. I want the 6th book. Say note, 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 note. Are you guys still sharing? No. Oh, good. You're still sharing, too, because I'm sure you guys want to win that book. Look at that. Perfect. Thanks so much. Real Dad does push-ups. He's doing the recap. Real Dads do push-ups. Doing the recap. Here it is. Here is that next book, The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. So this is a fantastic book as well because, and I have these timed. So for those of you who are trying to figure out, well, why did you place them in this order? Let me see, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. I should have put Post-its on it so I don't have to count every time. This is the 6th book that you should read. The reason I put them in certain order, and when I get to the first one, I'm going to recap them in the order and tell you why I put them in certain order, because there's a mentality of where you need to be in your mind as well as with your skills and what comes next. So I will tell you at the end why I chose this order for them all. This book is a fantastic book by Jeff Olson because it teaches you about those small critical steps, that the ones that people don't see, the insignificant ones, the ones that are boring, the ones that you can't stand, the ones that you think, this is stupid, I'm not doing it anymore. But the more consistent that you are with doing that activity, it is cumulative. It all works together. So that's where this book is of huge value. All right, let's move on. We are now back again to a repeat author. Type the first name of the repeat author you think I'm going to be putting. Which book is a repeat author that you think I should recommend is the 5th book? John, some of you guys are thinking John, Brian, John, John. If my husband was on this, he'd be like, oh, look at, they love me, because his name is John. Well, nobody said it yet. Anybody? John and Brian, that's all I've seen. Anybody else got another option of somebody else? Not John, not Brian, not John, not Brian? Gary! By the way, it's not Charlene. She will not be your friend if you call her Charlene. It's Charlene. There's no R in her name. And I'm just telling that because I'm her friend and I like to stand up for my friends, but she can't stand it when people put an R in her name. It is Charlene, like shut the door. That's what she told me when she first met me. Crush It by Gary Vaynerchuk. This one is such a good book. Super, super good book because this one really teaches you how to effectively schedule your time and working, what activities you need to do. But this one is like a super, super fast read, and you can see, like, I put my notes in there. I constantly am dog-earing books. This is a fantastic one, so simple to read. So I think this one is a critical one for you to read. Let me see what it says on here. It is 134 pages, 134. You can totally get through this book. But basically, it says, Big Borrow and Steal to learn the hustle and techniques that helped him build $60 million businesses and reinvent the rules of your own terms. So this one I definitely think is a critical one for you to read. And again, that's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, the fifth book in the order of which one to read. Perfect. Let's move. Fourth book. I love this guy. Okay, I haven't talked about him yet. I love this guy, and I'm going to give you some clues, and I need you to guess who you think it is. So he is very meticulously groomed. He always looks amazing. He offers a lot of people daily techniques and tips. He also, like, straight to your email. And his logo for his daily tips looks a lot like my brand logo, CD. I don't even have my business cards here. What kind of a host am I? I don't even have my own business cards. What the what? I think it's right here. So his logo looks like mine. All right. And by the way, I had my logo first, just so you know. I did. Because it has a little, like, weight in it. See, it's like fitness. It's a barbell in there. Or a dumbbell, sorry, not a barbell. All right. So what was it? It is, I love this guy, Darren Hardy. So the reason why I love this guy, the compound effect, I'm going to talk about this. The reason why I love this guy is because he drives, he does. So he doesn't kill himself to be able to be as successful as he is, as far as I know. But basically, when he decides he's going to do something, he crushes it and follows through with complete totality and detail. Detail is so important to me. I am a big person when it comes to following through with detail and making sure that all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. And when it comes to business and following through, here's the other side of it all, is he's an over-deliverer as well. And that's what I do and love as well. I love when people over-deliver more than expected. So if you follow Darren, the compound effect, this is a fantastic one, much like the slight edge, where it teaches you the concepts of that cumulative effort, that it works together. So again, jumpstart your income, your life, your success, because this is about really seeing the big picture of building a home business. Is it's not automatic and overnight. It is about doing the activity that you just roll your eyes at over and over again or are scared to do. And when you nail those, it becomes habit and it becomes part of your day. So a lot of people will ask me, well, what is it that you do every day in your business? I have to really think about it because a lot of the activity that I do every day in my business, I don't have to think about as a check off the list because it's just part of my life every day. So the new entrepreneur coming in needs to actively think to check off certain things on their to-do list. But for me, because I've worked so hard with the compound effect, those things that a new person are checking off, I don't even have to think about them because they happen normally as part of brushing my teeth every day. That's just part of life. So my to-do list is not going to be the same as somebody else who's brand new, because they need to train their habit and the compound effect. So again, we got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, fourth. So this is the fourth book that I suggest that you read. And the reason I, again, really love him is because he does over deliver. And for instance, if you go to any of his conferences, he always gives you the slides of his presentation. He does everything thorough. Okay, so I'm going to move. I have to keep counting. Stop counting. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'll go backwards now. The third book. So the top 3. This is the third book. This is a book that I give out to every new coach that works with me personally for my business. When they hit their first level of rank, I give this book to them plus extra bonus. So I give this book out for this because this skill needs to be nailed. And the reason why I give it to them in the beginning stages is because I feel that majority of your first couple of people in your business are close to you. They're either your spouse or partner, or their family members, or close friend. So now beyond that, you need to nail knowing how to share the business effectively and do it insanely well. And you guys are saying it, it is. By Eric Worre, it's GoPro. Now I'm going to give you the positive and negatives on this whole thing. Now, first of all, I've been running my business boot camp for 4 years, and I did create this concept of something called the 5-point quick chat. The 5-point quick chat is basically a roadmap that you follow in your brain when you are talking to someone, when you are sharing your business with them on the phone. I don't know if you've ever been on the phone with someone and you totally are like, oh my gosh, I totally lost track of where I was supposed to go. And then you start like blabbing and talking, and you start talking about things that don't even make sense in your business. And you're like, why am I saying this stuff? Well, what I created was something called the 5-point quick chat. And it's just a roadmap for you to stay on course and not be scared and know exactly what to say when you do share the business with someone on the phone. And then all my friends were telling me, oh my gosh, Christine, it's like you wrote that book, GoPro. I was like, what are you talking about? So then I went and read this book. I was like, oh my gosh, this is totally the same stuff. Because I didn't create the wheel. He didn't create the wheel. The concepts have all been done. It's just a different interpretation. So a lot of what I teach is like what he teaches in here, but there are some fine areas in here that I don't agree with because it is kind of impersonal as well as a little on the edge of spammy. So you got to take all of these trainings for what it's worth and always personalize it for yourself and make it feel good on how you do it. But there's always going to be an underlying form of activity, but your interpretation and your implementation is always going to be slightly different. So again, fantastic book. This is why I drill it to people, because they really need to see it's about vocal contact. You need to talk to people before you bring them into your business, because when you do, you make an even better connection that when you start them off, then you are going to be on a faster pace with growth for that reason. So again, this is the third book that I suggest that you read, GoPro by Eric Worre. And the great thing about Eric is if you follow him, every so often he sells this book for I think like $4. And so I at one point bought like 50 of them because I give them away to my team when they reach that first rank level, because I really need them to know that that is effective. All right. So if you are ready to go and you want the second book, I need you to think big for me and type the word big. Think big. I need to think big. If you are ready for the second book, are you guys ready? Anybody still sharing this? Remember, if you share this, swipe to the right if you're an iOS, iPad, iPhone user, and click share to Twitter. And Android, swipe up and share to Twitter, because I'm going to be randomly selecting someone from this list to give as a winner. And I'm going to announce the winner on my next scope where I announce the other books that I'm putting together for leadership, higher level in the business. You guys are ready? Well, fine. Stop yelling at me then. Big. The Magic of Thinking Big by David Schwartz. The Magic of Thinking Big by David Schwartz. This one was a game changer. This one was actually my very first book that I ever read when I got started as a network marketer 7 years ago. Now, my story, and briefly, I was actually on the phone today with Real Dads Do Push-Ups, who's on here. I was basically telling him that when I first got started, I wasn't in network marketing. I was an entrepreneur. I was an independent contractor working for a company, a fitness company, but I wasn't in network marketing, which is different, of course, because now I can build a team and residual income. So when I was building, I didn't know what to do, but I just did initially what I knew works, but that only lasts for so long. So I hired an expert in network marketing who had insane success actually in Amway. And I hired him to work for me to be able to teach me and my organization how to build a network marketing business, because I wasn't really sure and I needed to make sure I had the steps aligned. And his first book that he recommended we all read was The Magic of Thinking Big by David Schwartz. And this book, you really dive into it, but it's about your mind. It's deep into getting into how you think about yourself, the perception of what you think of other people think about you, and your impact on other people. You have to have your mind straight or you can never be a success as an entrepreneur. Especially as a leader, there's no possible way you will ever be someone people want to follow if you don't show signs of leadership. Signs of leadership are complete passion, confidence, delivery, and completely being a generous, giving person are some of the qualities. And if you can't exemplify those things in totality, you're going to have a real hard time building any level of leadership. So The Magic of Thinking Big by David Schwartz is one of the best books I suggest you read. It is the second book I suggest you read. And it's actually one of the books that I require my business bootcamp people to read as well, because it is that important to get your mind in the right way. You have to get rid of the crappy friends around you that constantly negate what you're doing. And even if it comes down to family members who constantly pull you down, you need to create distance. And it may be hard, but you need to do that. If this is that important to you, you need to create that space, because if this is that important, that is where you're filling yourself up. You are the average of the 5 people you hang out with. So are you the most successful person in your circle of influence? Because if you are, you got to get a new circle. You need to surround yourself with other people who are on the same path, who have a level of success and see the bigger picture and are always working to be a better person and leader. Okay? So that is my second book. And if you guys are ready for the final and the number one book, I suggest all business owners read their first book. I want you to give me a number one, a thumbs up or something. Tell me something that you want that one. You're ready to go. You want the first book. Let's hear it. Okay, it's coming. Number 2, someone said. Okay, well, go to the bathroom then. Don't go, keep holding it in. Go. Okay, it's no secret. I've recommended this book before. If you've been on my scopes, you know that this is the number one book that I do recommend all entrepreneurs start. And it is Start by Jon Acuff. So punch fear in the face. Booyah. Jon Acuff, no H in his first name, Jon Acuff. He also did write the book Do Over, which I'm in the middle of reading, and I can't give a complete understanding of it yet. But I'll tell you, this book was one that I completely read from front to back. And I rarely do that with all of them. I read about 3/4 of them. It's just what happens to me. But can you see this? Do you see how dog-eared this is? That's because this book has a critical amount of information that is up to your success in growing your business. Start by Jon Acuff. This book, it teaches you, starts with the mindset, your value, your belief, and really puts you in a position of challenging you. It challenges you to where you are in your life right now. Are you fine still working for someone else and making them richer? Like, what about your life? And in here, he talks about a moment where they interview people who are in nursing homes, old folks home, whatever you want to call them, and they always ask them, what is it that you regret? What do you wish that you did more of? And the number one answer is not, I wish I worked more. It's not that. It's not that. It's always time with their family members. They wish they spent more quality time with their family members. And the only way that you can control your time is to completely be on your time. So you don't need to go in and punch a clock. I know that stress. I used to have to race to the hospital in the morning to hurry up and beat the 7 a.m. time punch clock. And then we would all hover around that clock at 2:58 p.m. waiting for the 3 o'clock to punch and get out of there. I was trapped. If I wanted to go on vacation, I had to make sure no one else was going on vacation at that time. If I wanted weekends off, I couldn't have them because I was always mandated to work every other weekend. My time was only up to someone else working for me if I had to have a day off to go to a doctor's appointment. And so your time is up to you. And I'm thankful to be in that position now. It wouldn't have been in that position if I didn't decide to do something that I thought I'd never do, first of all, and that I really needed to be educated on. So that is the #1 book. This one is going to align you up. This is also one that I talked about if you saw my scope about how to involve your spouse or your partner in your home business. This one is the one that talks about in every relationship, there's a how person and there's a wow person. So my husband is the how person and I'm the wow person. So the how person is the person that does the checklist, the details, and gets, analytics and all the stuff done, things in order. The wow person is the person that's the creative, the one that, really kind of makes socialize. And he's a social person too, but that's the difference in the relationship. And that's what this book is. So I'm going to go through and recap starting from the #1 book that I think you should read. That #1 book is Start by John Acuff, because this is a complete book getting you ready on knowing what to do to get your business started, getting your mind ready, putting that fear of living as the same and not changing your life in there, teaching you how to get going. This is the #1 book. The second book I suggest you move on to then is The Magic of Thinking Big by David Schwartz. And again, it's to really push your brain into the mindset of possibility and that you control your future. The reason I put this one as second is because when you get started in your business, after a month, after 2 months, and you're going to start to see your friends and family start poo-pooing your business, and people on Facebook are going to start to be mean, and you might not make immediate money, you're going to start to get that negative, clouded mindset of, oh no, this is a pyramid scheme, or I shouldn't be doing that. That's where this book comes in. It saves the day. This is the first book I suggest you read because it really puts you back on track to understand that there is a bigger purpose. So now your mind's back fresh again, and that's why I then go to the third book, because now you're energized and you're really raring to go out there to get going and share your business with people, and this book will help you do that. Now, as you're doing that, you start reaching out to people and you're like, everyone's saying no, they don't want to do this. And you start getting that negative mindset again of, this is impossible, there's no way I can do this. The reason why this book comes next is for that exact reason, because you need to stay that course and stay consistent. Because think about your own self. If you've ever joined any opportunity, bought any car, bought any house, bought anything where you had to put a second thought to it. Most times you didn't buy it the first time someone told you about it. You went home, you researched it, you maybe went to different stores, different car lots, you research, you sit on things. And that's the same thing when you share the business with someone. They're not immediately like, sign me up, let's go. Usually they need to research, they need to sit back, they need to put their guard up. And so if you're sharing the business with people with this book, and then you start getting frustrated because you're like, oh my gosh, everyone's saying no, everyone's saying no, everyone's saying no. You got to understand it's a compound effect, because the more consistent that you are in doing that, then eventually this is going to start to pay off. Those little behaviors that you keep doing over and over and over again will start paying off, which then helps you learn how to effectively start to get your message out, start utilizing social media, and knowing what type of skills to start to focus on to narrow down what you should be doing. That's why this book comes in next, because you're now going to be on a feverish pace of doing a lot of activity, and this is going to narrow that down, which then we got to bring back in again, because your mind starts getting negative again. All this work and no return. All this work and no return. You got to understand, it's about the little activities that come together. It's about constantly doing the stuff that doesn't seem important, that really makes sure that this is why it will work in the end. As long as you are aligned with a good company, or you are doing the right activity in your own personal business, the little efforts you are doing will pay off. But now you start building a lot of activity in your business and you're like, I've got a lot to do. There's just so much to do and I just don't know where to start. So let me do the easiest thing and just surf Facebook. Let me just surf Facebook. No, you need to make your to-do list every day and you really need to do the action that really is the biggest frog for you. The stuff that you can't stand doing, but you know is super important in your business. If you've got a to-do list, you should categorize. So write your to-do list. Then I suggest go back and number out of priority which ones are the most important. The number one important one shouldn't be check your email. The first important one is the number one activity that you should do that actually moves your business forward, actually will build your income. And that is following up with people. So you need to follow up with people because the number one activity wouldn't be sharing the business because those people need to go and sit and relax and sit on it for a second. You need to follow up with the people that you shared your business with. That's your number one activity, and that's usually people's frog. I don't know why people are scared to follow up. I'm actually going to be doing some sort of training on it. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it, but I'm just always boggled about it because I know myself, I kind of get pissy when someone doesn't follow back with me when I want to work with them. For instance, we hire contractors left and right all the time here, and we get like, why don't they call us back when we leave a message? Don't they want business? And then we specifically don't choose that person because they didn't follow back with us. Follow up. People are not working with you because you didn't follow up with them and they're mad. I'm like, I'm going to go with this person because they paid attention to me. You know, that's the truth. So now you're doing the hardest thing. You got so much on your plate. You're like, I am getting overwhelmed. I don't know how to manage this and life and kids and working out and everything. And I got to get my life in order. That's why this book will help you understand that you got to streamline and understand what activity is actually going to make your priority happen. So that's why this book comes then thereafter, because you get your business rolling, you start getting all that activity, and this cleans you up. It basically streamlines and cleans you up. As you keep growing in your business, you got to understand it's then thereafter, the more activity that you do, you're not always going to win. It's a learning lesson and you're only going to get better. So that's why this book comes then thereafter. And then the final and the 10th book for when you get started is again, Jab, 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 Right Hook by Gary Vaynerchuk. Because again, it's about making sure that you see how to effectively keep tweaking your message. So you're going to be getting out there, sharing the business. And if you're new with your business, you're not going to be getting out there brand new and building a huge business by your social media non-friends. Your immediate market is going to be your warm market. And I actually did a 3-part series on your warm market marketing for leads, cold market, and attraction marketing. I did that. It's in my podcast. If you go to The Platinum Edge, that's my podcast. And I did a 3-part series, warm marketing, cold marketing, and attraction marketing. And so this is attraction marketing. But when you're growing your home business, you are starting with warm market, predominantly. Your warm market list never dies. People who say, I got through my warm market and nobody wants to do it. Well, then you are just failing at meeting new people because you should always have a warm market list. It continually should be growing every day because you meet new people. That's what I got for you today. So let's keep answering any questions you got here. Put them down there. Thank you so much for all this love. I love the hearts. I'm glad this was a good topic for you guys. And I really want to do a scope to help you out with leadership. And the next level of books that I suggest are my top that you read to really be an effective leader and also know how to be an effective speaker and also teaching people how to do this business. So you've hit a plateau in your biz. Do you suggest going back to reading those books over? I don't know what plateau means. So plateau, of course, is going to be meaning different things for different people, but you have to check your activity. So to give you an idea of what we did when I was managing independent contractors to become fitness professionals, they were independent contractors. Their success was completely deemed on if they were going to go out and do the activity. What we would have them do is when they would go and schedule a live event, they would need to promote that event to get it to go. What we had them do is journal all the activity that they were doing. So every day that they would do something to promote, did a masterclass to showcase it off. I emailed 10 of my contacts. I called 5 clubs. They would constantly write every day what they did. Then things go good. This is how your business is always going to go. It's going to climb. It's going to be happy. It's going to be awesome. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, this sucks. What's going on? I don't really know what's going on. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is awesome. That's how your business goes. And as long as you stay the middle ground and stay consistent, you're going to ride through those bad parts. But when you're in the bad slumps, That's when you review back your journal and say, what was I doing when things were awesome? And that's going to help you. And be like, oh my gosh, I'm not sharing the business with people, or I'm not following up with people. I'm a little scared right now. So that's going to help you out. Any other questions you got for me? Awesome. I'm glad this was helpful for you guys. Appreciate you sharing this. Now remember, the next time you tune in, I am going to be teaching about the books I recommend for leadership, and that's where